Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham. The nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello, all you beautiful iRacing fans. This is Jason with City Tree Sports. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic Friday evening right here on our favorite platform for all sim racing. And we are ready to go. 15 drivers competing for a top spot, 13 in the field today. So we're going to see some drivers eliminated from the playoffs. And some drivers ready to rock and roll. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is the track. Asphalt Outlaws Racing Series on iRacing is going to be the field. We'll take a look at the points here in just a little bit. Starting grid for you, Eric Hagdahl is going to be your pole sitter today as the number 4 locks in top spot. Will Reinl will be in that second spot. Right there on the outside. So the front row locked in by the 4 and the 17. Dougie Higgins Jr., the number 41, makes a living trying to make sure that he works his way to the front. Mark Beverly will be his outside companion. Haas Beverly and Kevin Winker out there in row number 3. Mines to see Joey. Call him J Mines, whatever he's in Discord. But Mines out there, the number 24. He's going to have Nathan Dahl to his outside. Jesse Wise and Bill Hales rolling that 5th row. Some camera things go on there. We'll lock him in right there. Tyler Beverly will be out there in that 11th spot. Cody Terlindi is going to be your driver or your race controller out there. And Jesse Calloway will be at the tail end of the field. Let's scroll down, make sure we catch his name right there. All this brought to you by DIecast.com, and the logo didn't change for the track racer thing right there. Neither did the Chop Shop logo. So we'll figure all that out. I'll fix it, and we'll do that all in the middle of what we're doing. But it's right there. We're all good right there. It's going to be a ton of fun. Let's take a small moment to look at the points for you. In the middle of your screen, Mark Beverly. Actually, all over your screen. Sorry about that. Mark Beverly, Kevin Winker, Bill Hales, Haas Beverly, Nathan Dahl, Eric Hagdahl, Dougie Higgins Jr., Will Reinl, Tyler Beverly, and Jesse Wise, all competing for those playoff spots. And Keith Prince, Caleb Patton, Pat Baldwin, and Rob Hattenbach, John Ciolino, all there at the very bottom. A lot of drivers taking the week off here to go to the Coke 600. Hopefully, they have a ton of fun. I'm excited to see what happens with the Coke 600 this week when it comes to what NASCAR is going to be doing. A lot of drivers out there running the full race, too, on iRacing. That is insane to me. But not as insane as the speed that these drivers are going to have today. We'll take a look at the race information in 2 seconds as I fix those logos that I was talking about. New overlay for all the drivers. So I've had to copy and paste some things over, and when I did, some other things just didn't show up. Race information, middle of your screen right there, thebuttkicker.com. Again, Asphalt Outlaws Racing Series. This is going to be the truck series. Let me change that for you. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 113 laps, 73% fuel, 4 sets of tires. Stage is going to end on lap 40, and it's going to be a very interesting run. Las Vegas is a great racetrack, and for what they call a cookie cutter, it's absolutely full of speed. So these 113 laps will go fast. The Winning Bid DIecast Auctions, the MLO Bros, Youngstown's #1 Facebook podcast. I've got to get their logo up on the screen for you. I don't have it right now, and I had to redo some link stuff there. So we'll talk a lot about them. Go check them out. There's links in the description for the MLO Bros. I encourage you to do it. Green flag waves as we get ready for the best Friday night iRacing series. Eric Hagdahl trying to lead here. 17 to Will Reinl to the outside. Dougie Higgins Jr. second in the pack. We're going to see some tight racing until the stage, and once the stage happens, then we're going to be all over that long run speed. 4 to the outside. Highline run can be effective here especially later on in the run. Dougie Higgins Jr. to the lead here as he closes down the gap. 22 of Haas Beverly trying to make some things work as well. Honor and remember. Now, I will say that we're going to be off for the next couple of days, but make sure that you tune in Monday for the IVRL Truck Series. Either way, we're going to be doing something because I've got a special tribute video that I do every single year, and that will be, of course, involving on Memorial Day weekend, an opportunity for everybody to show and honor their respect for those gone and back. 22 doing just that. I want to show Kevin Winker's truck here. He asked me to do so. He is running fantastic paint scheme and got a driver. He's got a service member on that one. Let's take a look. I think 17 of Will Rhinos in front. I don't want to go to the gearbox. We'll take a look at that truck behind him. It wraps up into the corner. And we'll find a way. Staff Sergeant Ian McLean, I think that's what that is, Junior. Either way, we'll look at it. Kevin Winker behind. There it is. Yep. Well, Staff Sergeant Ian, you are in my thoughts and prayers today. Much love to you and the family out there. I love the patriotic paint schemes. It's this is my McLaughlin, Ian McLaughlin, Staff Sergeant Ian McLaughlin. There it is. Now we can really see it. The Ford, Eric Hagel drops back a little bit here. Mines is going to do so as well. 17 and Will Rhino out front right now as the close-up cams of Las Vegas become super intense. Things are holding on. Close the window here. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you out there on the old YouTube. You have a fantastic race yourself. You're going to be, I don't know if you're going to have your hands full tonight, but it'll be absolutely interesting. I will say that iRacing, or not iRacing, that Trading Paints has been acting up lately. So if anybody's had any problems with Trading Paints lately, please let me know. I want to make sure that we get it all fixed and make sure that we take care of our drivers. I'm going to reload some paints here just to make sure that everybody's running the clean paint schemes and everything's rolling for them. Now, 73% fuel means that the drivers if the stage ends on lap 40, they're going to have to come to pit road for at least a green flag pit stop. 41 of Higgins to the outside has Kevin Winker behind him. Kevin Winker trying to roll that corner in third. Turn 3 cam as they go down the back straightaway. Las Vegas is fun. 17, 41, 42, the top 3 all within striking distance. Jesse Wise right there in the mix. 22 of Haas Beverly rolling as well. We are reloading the paints, so hopefully everybody's going to be running what you see should be what we're running. Kendra, thank you for the like. Joey, thank you for the like. Mark, thank you for the like and the share out there as well. Much love to you. Thank you for the new followers that we got yesterday and for the followers that are going to be out there today. You are all absolutely amazing. Not much in the wake of trying to push for that stuff. Every follower that we've ever had, we have tried to do it as naturally as possible. So thank you all very much for being a part of the stream and choosing to be here. We go through times where we get a bunch of followers, and then we go through times where we, just try to hold it. Fast racing? Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're into here. As we complete 9 of 113. Fast laps for the drivers. Fastest lap of the race ran by Kevin Winker, 30.70. Bill Hale's actually knocking down that door. 30.64 for the driver. So he has the fastest lap of the race, and they're going to get faster as they continue to move. Right there in front of them, Mark Beverly trying to repeat here. Going to enjoy themselves and work it. Work it real good, right? That's what I say. We are going to be looking at a few different things coming up. I found somebody to make me a helicopter award, and she is on it. It's going to be the silly award, and we're gonna give out the Signature Esports giant, well, not giant, but it's going to be the fan voted helicopter award. We'll put that on our Facebook shorts and our YouTube shorts, so that way you can get out there and take a look at the helicopter. We'll do a top 10 video, and then we'll give somebody a little helicopter award, which is absolutely awesome. Best idea I ever had. Coming up here very soon, we're going to have some interesting things happen as well. We're going to start doing some more content. Joey Mines coming around. He is going to be a lap down. He came to pit road on lap 8. So I think Joey's going to be trying to work that fuel strategy early, which is not a bad idea, considering that that's what you're working for. 41, 17, 42, 69, the 22 of Haas Beverly still in the mix. Haas really enjoying his drive into the corner here. 69 to the outside as they roll a little right side for the 69 as he looks like he might have tagged the wall a little bit. You can get tight in the corner here and run up the racetrack, and the side-by-side for the 22 and the 69 goes to show just how precise you have to be getting into the corner. Eric Hagel in the number 4 truck just needs to have a clean race today. A lot of these drivers want to win. Realistically, you don't really have to find the win here. You just need to have a good race. And right now, a second separates the second pack from the top 3. Dougie Higgins Jr. out front, single file with Will Reinl. Outside line, really rolling as the 41 finds that speed, drops all the way down to the corner exit here. Is going to pull the 17 with him as 2 Fords lead over a Chevy. Haas Beverly and a Chevy. And then, of course, the 4 of Eric Hegel in a Ford. Jesse Wise first Toyota. Bill Hales in a Toyota as well. The 53 driving the M&H Construction. Like his paint schemes. If you haven't seen it, please, by all means, get out there and find it, folks. Somebody asked me earlier on Facebook through a messenger service who would I recommend for a paint scheme. I do paint schemes, but I do them in my form and fashion. To those who know, I'm a creative person out there in the world of graphic design, photography, videography. Signature Media is my main source of income, and that's what I do for a living. Signature photography and printing, and just all the things that we do. And I will say that if I had to recommend paints, I would say that you have to recommend paints based on the style that the person wants to run. There are a lot of people out there that do paint schemes, and there are a lot of people out there that do that. So if I had to pick one, I would pick one that gives to the community more than it takes from the community. If that were the case, a handful of them out there. MCI Graphics is one of them. That's Coulter Jr. that you see every so often on some of the streams. Not only that, but let's see. There's Amar. Amar does paint schemes as well. Ryko does them. Let's see. A big one for me is HMG Innovations. They do a ton of work in that realm as well. And these are folks that, so we're affiliated with, but I will say that over the course of what we've seen, there's a lot of opportunity for any of those folks to do it. I would say start with MCI and find them on Trading Paints, and then get a hold of them, and then I would go from there. That's where I would start. Mines trying to close down some of that distance right now. Finds himself about 45.5 seconds off of the pace of Dougie Higgins Jr. So he'll be a lap down, but in the course of this race, he'll be able to make up some of that ground. Coming across the front stripe is Dougie Higgins Jr. Joey is coming around, I do believe, turn 3 and 4 to the front straightaway. He's not losing any time. He's still running fast laps, 31.60. Actually, he's the fastest driver on the racetrack right now. Has the most fuel. Going to be able to save a little bit getting into the corner. 20 of 113 as he continues to roll around the corner. Big House Motorsports, part of the field over here. The MLO Bros. I'm getting their logo kind of worked out at the moment. So bear that in mind, folks. I'm going to be throwing their logo up on the screen because I want them to get the exposure that they need. And, love it. Schedule coming up. Iowa Speedway on June 3rd. Then we're going to have Talladega on the 10th. Atlanta Motor Speedway on the 17th. And Michigan International is going to be the June 24th race. That will be the championship race. So we are just 4 races away, not including this one, from the end of this one. 22 of 113. The only caution that we should see early on, hopefully, if I'm calling it right, is to make sure that we do is to have that stage break. So we'll see what happens as the 17 of Will Rhino tries to work around the 41 here of Dougie Higgins Jr. We'll send into the corner. 17 still battling, 41 still able to defend here. Back at it again. Sorry about that. A little miss needed my attention for a moment. I might have to during the stage break go help her out here in about 15 laps. So we'll see just how it works. And she's trying to get some things taken care of. 25 of 113 being completed as Dougie Higgins Jr. tries to outstretch his hand, get the lead. There's the MLO Bros, bottom right of your screen right there. MLO Bros, the Youngstown's #1 Facebook podcast. They release a podcast, or they're live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. There's a link in the description on Facebook and YouTube. So please go check them out. Give them a follow. Listen to what they have to say. The housing market is huge right now. Best time to sell, of course. So make sure you get out there and you try to find the information. They have a lot of great information from the MLO market, or the MLS market, to also how to pretty much look at buying your house, where you need to find the information, and it's just a great resource. Go check them out. Love what they do. Higgins, your race leader. Rhino in second here as we drop back. 42 of Kevin Winker trying to close the distance. Mark Beverly will be working that 4th spot right now, trying to make up to 3rd here. It's a 17 trying to defend his position. He did a lot of work to get himself in the mix here with Dougie Higgins Jr. Now Dougie's going to be trying to close that time down again. Fastest driver on the racetrack, Eric Hegel right now. He and Haas Beverly run 32.07s. But don't count out Joey Mines here. 32.43 for the driver. He just slowed down some pace to be able to keep up some of that fuel. That's something that is a strategy portion here. Cody Terlindi says that he needs a designer sponsor. That'll be the guy that gets out there. He's got a huge I rating. Cody, you were above $6,000 just the other day, weren't you? Fixing mic issues here. My mic was turned down. Let's go, Dougie. Caleb Patton out there. Good to see you, Caleb. How you doing, brother? Caleb, thank you for the like out there as well. Kevin Winker, Mark Beverly, Will Rhino, Haas Beverly here in the 22. He's still not done. He's still top 5 night. Started 5th. Trying to work back. Eric Hegel was your pole sitter. I believe Eric is trying to take the field to its own here. It's been as high as 6,700. Yeah, is Charlotte just being that track this week? Rather be racing with the boys? I understand. Mark Beverly to second, Kevin Winker to the outside. These two have been battling all season long. And rolling into the corner they go. Trying to put some speed together to get back up to the 41. The 41 has been able to run that line. Texas was bad too. Yeah. Texas can be a really good racetrack, but Texas all week long, from everything that we saw, was especially even on the league races, that track was more slippery than what it's ever been, and the drivability was kind of rough. Higgins 1 and 2 rolling the corner around here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, rolling the dice. 32 of 113. Drivers are going to start having to think about. Didn't know that. Oh man. Oh, that's rough. But you got to take them care of. Man, that's unfortunate. That happened to me because I get mine annually. That happened to me when I had to change cards because I changed banks after we had some issues where some folks stole some money from us in the business, and so I had to change cards and stay and take care of some things. And when I did, I forgot to change the card over. So when my annual came up, I didn't have it. So I was like, why is my iRacing not working? And then there you go. So I've been there. Mark Beverly is going to lead a lap here. Hegel comes to pit road. Higgins comes to pit road. Eric Hegel is going to be out there. Mark Beverly trying to work. Joey Mines trying to close down some of that speed that he had. A lot of these drivers might just take a splash and go. We'll see. Mines will be back on the lead lap here very shortly, I do believe. He's going to be tracking down Kevin Winker. Kevin came in and took fuel only. Mark Beverly to pit road. Eric Hegel right there as well. Mines coming around 3 and 4. Will get his lap back. He's got about 8.5 seconds to Kevin Winker. He was trying to hold on to that stage the way he did. Absolutely, Caleb. It's what I do, man. It's what I do. Dougie Higgins Jr. leaving pit road as we speak, around 1 and 2, back straightaway. Kevin Winker rolls the corner. He came to pit road earlier than everybody else, so he gained some of that time. Kevin very, very speedy when it comes to getting in and out of pit road. Eric Hegel will try to do just the same. Mark Beverly coming off pit road, and is going to be looking at drivers coming off of pit road. Mark's big kryptonite here has been pit road as of late, but he finds his way off of pit road, gets that little splash and go. He only needed just a touch of fuel. A lot of the drivers going to come in for tires before the stage ends, or after the stage ends. So he literally got 4 seconds of fuel. He was able to hold off 2 seconds there. Dougie Higgins Jr. pretty much filled up. 7.5 seconds will get you a full tank. And you don't really need that much to make it around. 36 of 113 as they come around. Big special thank you to all the folks affiliated with iRacing and what you do. You've made a platform out of me and a lot of folks out there. Been chatting with several folks about content creation and what we can do to drive more to the iRacing community, because I really care about what happens here, and be able to make a show out of it, and how to incorporate other games and other things out there, like American Trucking Simulator, and let's see, there's Mechanic Simulator, there's the Gas Station Simulator, there's all kinds of things that I like to play. Tarkov, of course, is my new game. I think Mark might have short pitted himself there. He didn't. I don't know if he got enough fuel. 4 seconds of fuel might not have been enough. He has to come back down pit road. 38 of 113. Kevin Winker, your race leader. Dougie Higgins Jr. is going to have enough time. Mark tried to do it, and I think he's going to be out there. Nathan Dahl, a lap down at the moment. Driving in the Hendrick Chevrolet, I'm sorry, 2 laps down as Mark Beverly gives himself a little bit more. He will, if he comes off pit road here, I think he went ahead and took the tires and I don't know, he had a 13-second pit stop, so he might have had some right sides. 41 trying to work the back bumper of the 42. Kevin Winker and Dougie Higgins Jr. finds pace. Into the corner they go. 39 of 130. They have to, I believe they're going to complete lap 40. That's normally what I see. As the 42 tries to hold on. Kevin Winker, Higgins, Rhino, Hegdel to the inside. The 41 goes. Side-by-side racing. Stage win's going to be a big one. 17 rolls the corner. Will Rhino here, I believe, took right sides. And so he will roll the bottom lane. 41 up the racetrack. Will Rhino right behind the 42. Will go on for a stage win here. Not a bad run here as he comes around. He's going to take the stage. And Higgins will be second. Winker will be third as they come across the stripe there. Will Rhino, stage 1 winner here at Las Vegas. And they're going to rack them, stack them, reset them, and then they're going to make it work. Caution. Alrighty, folks, we're back at it here. Second part of the portion of this race. Folks, when your 9-year-old says, hey, I need your help, she means it. It is full send. 3 wide on the front straightaway. Will Rhino, your stage 1 winner, looks to push his way into the lead here. We'll see another green flag pit stop for the drivers. Roughly, I believe, about halfway through this one, as they're going to try to maximize the fuel strategy. Dougie Higgins Jr., your race leader at the moment. They continue to roll this racetrack. Callaway up in the mix. Jesse Callaway driving the Wayway Motorsports Chevy Silverado. Has some good run speed right there to the bottom. Dougie Higgins Jr. dropping in, trying to take off some of that line for the 9, but the 9 is going to be speedy here. Kevin Winker in third. Eric Hegel trying to pull back some of that speed. Callaway to the lead here on the inside lane. 41 rolls the back of the corner here to the back to the front straightaway into the tri-oval. Carries second lane speed side by side for the 2 drivers as Dougie tries to roll up the racetrack and into the corner. A look from the inside here. Callaway still driving like he stole it. Good run. Higgins to the outside. Callaway trying to lead this lap. Runs up the racetrack a little bit here. Tries to make sure Higgins will lead that lap. As these 2 drivers continue to battle, something you've got to keep in mind if you're the 9 of Callaway, is that Dougie is utilizing more of the racetrack, and he's going to find a way around the 41 here as he gets into the corner. They still continue to battle side by side. Higgins still closes the distance up the racetrack a little bit, and he's going to have to run him higher and keep him higher as the 9 tries to lead, but Higgins still into the corner. Callaway drops in side by side. These 2 still trying to work on each other. Kevin Winker just sitting back, kind of observing at the moment. Eric Hagdal rolls the corner as well. There's Will Rhino back to the outside. He tries to carry some speed. Haas Beverly still having a fantastic day. Jesse Wise to the outside. Good speed for all of the drivers. Thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. Like I said, apologies about all the mid-race delay there. Didn't like to see that happen, but it happens. You know, when the little miss says, "Hey, Daddy, I need your help," you listen. Higgins still leading on the outside. He's getting a little help from the draft package of the 42. The 9 to the bottom side one more time. Higgins, each lap is just a little bit faster than Callaway. From that second lane, Callaway still trying to find some speed. He finds himself getting out front, but he's not able to hold in to that lane like Dougie Higgins Jr. is. And right now, the 42 doing some justice to the 41. He'll be there to the outside. Callaway will drop to third here into the corner. The 41 will be able to clear the 9. And as they continue to run side by side for seconds, Callaway needs to find his pace. He needs to find a spot that he can run higher on the racetrack. He's burnt up a lot of those tires trying to clear himself here, and has not been able to find that exit where he needs to be. Kevin Winker faster here, and the more that Jesse finds that side-by-side speed, he continues to run straight into the corner. 9 to the bottom, needs to clear. I think he's got it here. He's going to do so. Finds the pace. It's a little bit of an anxious moment for the 42 behind him, and the 42 is still going to carry speed into the racetrack. 9 drops in, finds more speed, does a great job. So that is what I was talking about. He needs to use more of the racetrack to be able to pass any of these drivers. And Callaway up next to the wall holds that pace right where he's at. 1, 2, 3, 41, 9, 42. Will Rhino on the 17. He's in fourth. Eric Hegdal in fifth. Mark Beverly in 6th. Bill Hales up 3. He's in 7th. Joey Vines back on the lead lap, finds himself in 8th, and he tried to pull something early there, and I would have done it. Find yourself in a different area, in a different zone. That's kind of where you're at. Jesse Wise in the 69 trying to run high into the racetrack. Haas Beverly holds his line as well. They all came to pit road on lap 42, so we should see them come back to pit road somewhere around, the old... He went back to green flag racing on 45, somewhere around 75 to 78, I do believe. 78 would put a 35 lap green flag run to the end. So we should see if anything's going to happen. 41, 9, 42, 17, 4, 13, 60, or the 53 and the 24. I want to take a look at the pit strategy for the top 8. 33 laps, 34 for Hagdahl, 34 for Beverly. And that will be the pace here. So keep that in mind. I don't know that they were out of fuel, but they were getting pretty darn close. .62 of 113. Somebody dropped that down back there. There's Kevin Winker, the 42, dropping to the inside. Eric Hagdahl trying to roll the outside still. Hagdahl trying to have the 4-wide fast speed here in that Ford. That's a great speed to the inside of the 42. Bill locking in some fast lap times as well. He is one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack right now. Callaway just a touch slower than the race leader, but Eric Hagdahl, he closes in some of that gap. He's about on pace with Dougie Higgins Jr. Mark Beverly and Bill Hales, both of those drivers run the same exact lap time, fastest drivers on the racetrack, 31.72 for those two drivers. The 13 and the 53 really rolling the corner very nicely as Bill Hales closes in. A little right front damage, it does look like for that, but that might have just been iRacing throwing a little snafu my way, so I don't actually think that's happening. I think he's good to go. Mines in the 24, finding pace on the back straightaway. Wise being passed by Tyler Beverly. Tyler has a good little Matthews paint scheme here. Tyler having fun. This is a fun racetrack. Dougie Higgins Jr. 1.3 seconds over the field. All that Dougie needed to do was continue to run the way that he did before. And over the course of this run here, he's been able to do a fantastic job of defending. 20 laps after the stage here, after they've gone green. And the gap now between the 41 and the 42, it finds itself at 1.37 seconds. Hagdahl battles to the outside. Rhino there as well. Jesse Callaway in the 9 having... tire issues here, a little right side damage for him, right front. I see the crinkle there, and then some rear damage as well. 13.53 working their way around. Beverly to 5th. He started 4th. Rhino needs to work himself back to 2nd to make even on this race. And Eric Hagdahl there to the bottom. Rolls into that middle lane here and slams the door on the 17. A little free off the corner, but not bad. You can get very, very free on that bottom line. Kevin Winker in front of him, about a half second, 1.5 the difference between Dougie Higgins Jr. and Kevin Winker. Bill Hales, highest I rating in the field, working through this one. and just trying to bide some time behind Mark Beverly. These two drivers working very well together to get themselves around two other drivers and carry that long run speed. Right now, the 13 to the 53 battling to make their way up to third from the 13 as Mark Beverly is rolling right where he started. 13 to the high side, 53 on his tail. Big bump draft look going on right here. It's almost like they're running super speedway speeds here as the 53 rolls the inside, does a great job with the 13, and they're catching up to Kevin Winker pretty quick, fast, in a hurry. Their pace right now, 0.3 of a second faster than Dougie Higgins Jr. 13:53, 68 of 113. 13 clears the 4. 53 trying to clear the 4. Bill Hales right there to the outside of the 4 here as they work a great line. 4 to the bottom. 53 still there. This is for 4th. And Bill Hales will clear. Dougie Higgins Jr. to the back bumper. Mines rolling as well. Joey Mines following suit with the drivers in front of him. Bill Hales trying to go for another position here on the 13. Dougie in first. 1.4 to Kevin Winker. Fastest drivers on the racetrack. Mark Beverly, Bill Hales, Joey Mines. Tyler, thank you for the like out there. Appreciate you. The old Puckett man. How you doing, man? How you doing? Let's go. Puck U.S. Marine Corps 29. Good to see you out there on the old YouTube. Appreciate you very much. I had to put some limitations on YouTube because of the old bot that keeps getting in there, and I keep blocking them, but, you know, doesn't happen. Highline run for the 42. Bill Hales to the inside. Bill got around the 13. And these drivers are on fire. 71 of 113. Bill side by side with the 42. 42 comes down to take some of the air off the 53. And right now, the run into the corner, Bill Hales is going to clear pretty easily here. And the 13 of Mark Beverly is going to be right in suit. The pursuit is on for Dougie Higgins Jr., who leads here, 72 of 113. I'm going to pre-roll a commercial on the old Twitch-a-Rooney, and I'm going to play My Nerds Do Nerd Things.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Dougie Higgins Jr., 1.7 seconds out in front of Bill Hales. He cranks up the volume on his truck and says, I'm ready to go. Side by side, the 42 and the 53 are here. And that's something that Kevin's been able to do here. He's been able to defend that position. He runs Bill up the track. Bill was trying to hold on to Kevin there, and they were side by side for a while. Now, Kevin Winker drops back here. Bill's not that kind of driver to intentionally do anything. So that was almost an unfortunate precedence here. They do have one fast repair, and so that might be something that the 42 has to work around to get himself into pit road and take care of. So no doubt the PO teenager look coming. 24 has a little bit of nose damage there after that incident. I kind of want to go back. We're going to take a look and see. Right here. They were side by side here. This is interesting. The camera's probably a little bit too close for me there. Here's a far chase view. Corner exit right there. Ooh. 42 went to turn in, 53 at the same time. And Kevin Winker back here, a lot of drivers getting into him, so it happens. Cheryl, good to see you out there. You no doubt you're rooting on this guy back here who was battling for the lead about 10 laps ago, 12 laps ago. He's got a little right side, a little right nose damage, and he's working back around. So he will be coming to pit road, no doubt getting his stuff taken care of. 1.8 seconds to the driver as the 41 comes to pit road. Bill Hales looks to stay out there as well. 78 of 103. As we see just who's going to be able to make it work. Cheryl, thank you for the like out there. Much love to you, dear. Bill, your race leader. Hegdal, 1.6 back. Beverly, back to third. Rhino right behind him. Little 3-pack. Try to work on Bill Hales and his speed. So we see Bill come to pit road. He's going to lock up his tires. It's down to speed. Nice job by that driver. Mark Beverly coming around. Will Rhino doing the same thing. Bill Hales on to pit road. Eric Hegdal doing himself some justice. Dougie Higgins Jr. will be there. He's going to be a lap down coming off pit road. Mark Beverly, a little rear damage there. That spoiler, or that deck spoiler right there. He was a part of that little contact, and so he's got a little bit of damage he's going to need to take care of. So hopefully that fast repair is going to come into play here. 17 locks it up. 13 is going to be there as well. 13 locked it up kind of early. Will Rhino comes down pit road. He actually might come down pit road and lead this lap. Tyler Beverly came in on 72. He is working his field, 80 of 113. And I'm trying to do the math here, folks. It's 80, that's going to be 33 laps for the most part. 35 is pretty much the max I would think these drivers are going to be able to run. And Tyler Beverly comes around to complete lap 80. Tyler, your race leader. His last lap, 31.33. Dougie Higgins Jr., 31.13. Tyler's just going to have to do himself some justice and hold on here for all that he has. Does have a fast driver behind him and some fast tires. Higgins trying to run some faster laps here as well. 30.73. He runs his fastest lap of the race. He's going to go by Tyler Beverly here. In a 5-lap fresher tire situation. 72 is when Tyler came in. Hopefully he'll have enough to make it. Kevin Winker in the 42. He's going to come out third. He went ahead and took that fast repair. No doubt needing a clean truck here. Bill Hales will find himself in fourth. Will Rhino right there on board. Eric Hegdal trying to work as well. Mark Beverly in the 13 is going to be all the way back to 7th. As they've cranked up the speed, they've cranked up the time, they've cranked up the just everything that they're doing. It's everything here is it just feels more and more intense. Will Rhino, Bill Hales to the outside. 53 down the racetrack here, and Bill might just kind of bide his time, take his time. I would say Bill's one of the long run kings here on this racetrack. So is the 13. Kevin Winker trying to capitalize here. He's got the 17 in front of him. Oh, 4. Hegdal, everybody going around. That was tight racing. Eric Hegdal in to pit road here. And no doubt he's going to have to get himself turned around and get back up to speed here. Get that black flag cleared. As we will take a look here, a little far chase view on what happened. 53 down low here. 4's right there. 53, this comes up, nudges the 4 right there a little bit. The 4 able to just barely take any damage there on the nose. It might be enough, though, to hurt the night build. Not one of the, like I said, not one of those drivers. He's been involved in 2 incidents here, but he's not one of those drivers to work the racetrack like that. Those things do happen. They do happen. 85 of 113. Dougie Higgins Jr., Tyler Beverly, Will Rhino, Mark Beverly, Jesse Callaway. Callaway trying to go around the 13, trying to find himself a clear zone. 13's going to bow back to the inside. This is the same thing that happened to the 9 earlier. He was stuck in this situation, and he's going to have to pretty much full set it into the corner, get himself clear, and then work up the racetrack just like that. So the battle continues. Will Rhino in the 17, able to keep himself out of that situation. Tyler Beverly in the 45 rolls that second spot. Dougie Higgins Jr., 1.1 out in front of Tyler Beverly, who's been able to hold on. Nathan Dahl up in the mix. Nathan finds himself 2 laps down. Eric Hagdal a lap down now with some nose damage. And an incredible save, but unfortunate circumstances there. A little bit of nose damage. His lap time's 31.52 on the last one. So he's just going to need to keep pace and bide his time, get himself back around, find himself in the right spot. Mines here, still with that nose damage. I wonder if he did not uncheck his fast repair on that first time he came to pit road. That might have used up that fast repair. So now he is kind of stuck with some damage. 18 seconds in gaining is Eric Hagdal on Joey. Joey's last lap, 31.97, came to pit road on lap 78. Jesse Wise in the 69, right where he started. Haas Beverly in front of him. Haas is off 3, but he's still working. He's got the 30 of Nathan Dahl to the inside. Haas trying to track down Kevin Winker. Kevin is normally known to be very good at these racetracks. Want to get rid of get a butt kicker. 25 laps to go here. Dougie Higgins Jr. still closing 1.6 seconds. Tyler Beverly strong in second here. Will Rhino in third. Will 3.7 seconds back from Dougie Higgins Jr. His lap time about 0.4 of a second better than the drivers in front of him. Dougie looked to be saving that last time by. His last lap 31.78. Now up to 31.54. Tyler Beverly 31.75. Will Rhino 31.36. The drivers are catching Tyler Beverly, but Tyler just holding on to what he has. 24 laps to go as they continue to work here. The final race of the round of 15, and 10 drivers will move on to the next round as they complete 3 races. And I believe we're going back. I think I said it before. We're going back to Iowa. Look at the schedule one more time. Iowa Speedway for 145 laps next week. And then at Talladega for 77 laps. $25 to the winner at Talladega. 4 to the inside of the 41. Eric Hagdal getting some of his pace back, even with that little bit of nose damage. He's going to be back on the lead lap. He's got some work to do. 22 laps to go. The 4 and the 41 working together. Dougie Higgins Jr. will be able to utilize that draft speed. Tyler Beverly 2.5 back. Half second from him is going to be Will Rhino here. Mark Beverly to 4th. Callaway to 5th. Bill Hales in 6th. Wanted to take a look at Bill's truck here and kind of check that right side, because that right nose is the only thing I'd be worried about here, to see if there's any kind of situation or any kind of issue. 42-22. Close racing here at Las Vegas will take its toll on the trucks. And not only that, but they'll find that there's other situations that will get you into a hot mess. Dougie leading. And Las Vegas looks like this from the overhead. Remember, the MLO Bros, Youngstown's #1 Facebook podcast, live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. I believe that's Eastern. You've got to go check them out. They're absolutely phenomenal. Nerds Do Nerd Things is my caution sponsor for every race that I do, except for the IVRL. They have Roasted Gems as their caution sponsor, so we love those folks. And much appreciation to them. Asphalt Outlaws Racing Series has been a great racing series, and as things start to progress and move forward, we'll see if they have any plans for another season after this. And once we have that information, we'll be able to take care of it. Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be releasing the Winston throwback promotional video. They're going to be able to take care of that. Tyler Beverly coming to pit road, 19 laps to go. He's going to be working on some of his pace here. No doubt trying to hold on for just a little bit longer. Dougie Higgins Jr., Will Reinl in second, Mark Beverly in third. Now Reinl and Beverly will be to the edge of the fuel zone if they haven't saved. 2.3 seconds back is Will Reinl to Dougie Higgins Jr., who is running the draft of the 4 here. Eric Hagdal's last lap, 31.95. Reinl, 31.55. Mark Beverly, 31.98. I see some saving going on, some saving strategy for some of these drivers as they continue to work into it. Chris, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Chris Weaver out there on the old YouTube. Appreciate you very much. It is going to be interesting. I'm kind of considering that Dougie is trying to save behind the 4 and utilize a little bit of that draft that he has. Tyler Beverly comes to pit road. He's going to be a lap down. So does Callaway, came in on 93. So these drivers came in for fuel and tires. And with 16 laps to go, I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to make up some of that time. Kevin Winker to pit road as well. Dougie Higgins Jr. working on holding on to what he has. Eric Hagdal in front of him. Eric Hagdal still on the lead lap here. Needs to gain some pace over Dougie Higgins Jr. here in order to find kind of that extra speed. And right now, the 17 of Will Reinl went from 2.7 seconds back to 1.5 in closing here in the final laps, the closing laps of Las Vegas. iRacing, go to iRacing.com. Make sure that you sign up for your subscription today. A lot of free tracks, a lot of free trucks that you can get. And once you proceed through all of the kind of rookie classes and you like it, then make sure that you keep going. Get yourself some more tracks. Get yourself these fantastic Intermountain trucks, and get out here and run with these boys and girls. There's a lot of fast racers out there, and I enjoy seeing every one of them. 1.6 seconds back from Mark Beverly is going to be Bill Hales. And I'm looking at this going, 41 needs to save over 2 laps on your count. I think so, too. I think he can. I thought that 78 was going to be the magic number for a lot of the drivers, but they had to have come in after they had completed 78. So 79 technically would be the pit lap. So Will Reinl right there. Dougie Higgins Jr. saving. He is saving 32.28 on the last lap for him. And he is in the air of the 4. I'm curious to see what's going to happen over the course of this last little stint. Some of the drivers came in and they went ahead and said, you know what, I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to come in and take this as my opportunity. Tyler Beverly, one of those drivers, I do believe he went ahead and took all 4 sets of tires. He did. Filled up on fuel, says, I'm good to go. I'm going to run these 12 laps. I'm going to finish where I finish. He's tracking down Eric Hagdal. He's 9 seconds in closing to the 45. Mines in 7th here, right where he started. Haas Beverly back where he started. Reinl in 2nd where he started. He's got a quarter second to the 41. Now, Will is, he came in on 79, so he is driving this thing like he stole it. Will was your stage 1 winner. He's going to be side by side with the 41, and now the 41 can soak up some of the draft of the 17. Will Reinl goes to the lead. He takes over, and he's going to be a quarter second here to Dougie Higgins Jr. Dougie Hopefully, it wasn't listening to me thinking that I needed that I have the race information and I have the fuel calculator up. But when you're the race leader and fuel is an issue, you kind of just have to do yourself some justice. Mark Beverly, I know, has saved a ton of fuel here. Bill Hales doing the same thing. 45 of Tyler Beverly goes around. He knows he's good. Rhino right there. 10 laps to go. 0.7 of a second between Will Rhino and Dougie Higgins Jr. Dougie is saving. He is about 3/4 of a second a lap slower than the field at the moment, trying to make sure that he makes it around this one. And once he has the green flag to go and knows that he has enough fuel, I do believe he's going to turn on the heat and roll. 69 of Jesse Wise comes to pit road. He's going to take a splash and go and get in and out. Mines comes around. He's going to take over 6 from him. Joey has some nose damage that would marvel that of some pop cans. Nathan Dahl comes around. Nathan's had a clean race. He just found himself a few laps down early. Rhino, 8 laps to go here. 3/4 of a second, the difference between he and Dougie Higgins Jr. Now, Dougie has saved enough here. Has he saved enough to save his tires? Bill and Mark Beverly are going to be working on each other here. 32.06 for Mark Beverly, 31.99 out of Bill Hales. Haas Beverly rolls his corner. He's going to be all right. I think 78's when he came in. He saved some fuel. There goes Kevin Winker to the bottom of the racetrack. Gets around Jesse Calloway, who's going to be looking to go around the 22 here. 9 battling. Tyler Beverly, the pace of ages. 7 laps to go. Try to make sure that what he is doing has the pace and has the speed. Eric Hegel. New truck. Not a new truck. I was looking at his nose. We're seeing if he has a new truck here. He's just holding his pace. He's right there with the 17. Rhino is your race leader. Tyler Beverly closing down the pace to he as well as Eric Hegel looks behind him going, all right, I've got to do something here. 6 laps to go. And the 4 in 7th, Mines in 6th, Haas Beverly in 5th. A lot of drivers looking at saving fuel here. 32.13 for Will Rhino. Dougie Higgins Jr. back up to pace. 32.21 for him. 5 laps to go. A second. Now the distance. Bill Hales in 3rd. He got himself around Mark Beverly. He was able to save. Mark might be playing the fuel strategy race for himself as well. Haas 33.92 last lap. He's trying to save. A lot of drivers trying to save here. As 5 laps to go is the feature. 4 now as Will comes across the stripe. Dougie Higgins Jr. is all or nothing now. He is 0.2 of a second faster last lap than Will Rhino here. As the 17 still tries to save here. I think he is still trying to save some fuel, but he's going to drop to the inside on the 4 here. Eric Hegel will go a lap down. Dougie Higgins Jr. trying to work this field, trying to get himself back in the mix. He wants to battle for the lead here. As Bill Hales, 6.5 seconds back over the 42. The 42 of Kevin Winker in 9th. Trying to track down Tyler Beverly, who is trying to gain one more spot here to the 4 of Eric Hegel. 1.4 in closing to that driver. As Dougie Higgins Jr. slaps on a fresh coat of I've got to go. And now finds 1.3 seconds. Dougie Higgins Jr. to pit road. Will Rhino comes around. 2 laps to go. Bill Hales will go to 2nd. Mark Beverly in 3rd. A lap short on fuel puts the 41 to pit road for a splash and go. Eric Hegel will be in 6th now. If Dougie cannot get to his pit stop and leave as fast as possible, he'll fall a lap down. White flag waves as Dougie Higgins Jr. leaves pit road and will drop to 6th after leading the most laps here. Will Reynolds trying to close down the distance. The 53 of Bill Hales to 2nd. Mark Beverly in 3rd. And I talk about fuel strategy races being the races that I enjoy the most. And this one came down to it. Stage 1 winner, now race winner. Will Reynolds wins in Las Vegas. Bill Hales will make it around on fuel and run out as he's coming across. There's a 13. He picks up some more spots. Haas Beverly trying to coast around here because Eric Hegdel is on the move. Haas, come on, buddy. You got it. He's out of gas. And he comes home inside the top 5 out of fuel. The 4 out of fuel as well. 17, a chance to coast around. There's the 4 of Hegdel inside the top 5. Runs out of fuel. The 17 of Will Reynolds gives an opportunity. He's going to try to burn it down. He's got less than a lap back. He might run out of fuel here. He's out of fuel. Oh, race winner. Let's take a look at your race results. Brought to you by the Butt Kicker. TheButtKicker.com. Use promo code AOR20 at checkout. Again, Will Reynolds, stage 1 winner, comes around, soaks up the sun, full sends it there, and is able to do so, taking over the lead and kind of battling his own race. Bill Hales to 2nd, Mark Beverly to 3rd, Haas Beverly, Eric Hegdel, Tyler Beverly, Kevin Winker, Dougie Higgins Jr., Jesse Calloway, Jesse Wise. Mines finishes in 11th, Nathan Dahl in 12th. Cody, you were last. But there's a point to that, right? Let's talk to some drivers. Let's pull them up here. Throw up some logos. I am switching over to Discord. Different Discords here. Wait for them to jump up whenever they are ready. And good race. That was a good race. Tell me what you thought about there, Mike. Thank you for the like out there. Much love to you. Tell me what you thought about the race. I thought the race was fantastic. I like fuel strategy races. There's a little bit of contact. There's a little bit of bumping and running and racing, and just everything kind of worked its own race line there. And an interesting race, to say the least. I really enjoy not just fuel strategy races, but seeing how folks are able to defend. Las Vegas is a great racetrack for defending the high line and defending the position. Just an absolute dream of a race, and we can only consider that the racing is only going to get better as the championship starts to become more and more apparent. Mark is ready. We'll talk to. Oh no, there's Will. We'll talk to Will first, because Will in the 17 is your race winner here, and he does so running out of fuel. And you ran out of fuel coming to the burnout. Walk me through this one. You had a pace that you came out at 79, which was the magic number to be able to get around this racetrack and be able to still drive it like you normally would. So walk me through it. It was a great race.
Oh man, I don't even know. I messed up. I got a phone call at the end of that stage break, so I missed the pits. So that's why I didn't pit with everybody. And I ended up, I think that won me the race, because I pitted a lap later than everybody because of that, and I had to start at the back of the field. So coming through there was a lot easier, because starting at the back of the field at that restart, I was able to save fuel while I picked one by one off. So I got up to about 5th place, and I decided to ride around. And then whenever we had that green flag pit stop, that's when I made my move. I knew my teammate who was leading Doogie, he was 2 laps short on fuel, so I knew I didn't have to race hard to catch him. I just had to stay in second and kind of get a gap between everybody else behind us.
Well, you and Dougie worked it well together, and he was still able to save fuel, but he ended up only saving a lap of fuel by the way it looks. And but still phenomenal race, and you get a stage win and a race win here moving into the round of 10, that it changes the pace. You're going to Iowa, then Talladega, and then another 1.5-mile track at Atlanta. Kind of the same setup that you had in this first round. Where do you try to find your speed at when it comes to over the next 3 weeks before the championship?
Well, I'm pretty excited because I don't like Iowa too much. I mean, a top 10, I'll be happy there. And if it's a small turnout like this week with only 13 drivers, I won't have to try too hard about that top 10. But Talladega, Michigan, all the tracks that in the season are some of my favorites. Atlanta, I feel like these playoffs are almost made for me. Last year, I didn't win a race the whole year, but I was able to just execute and not make a mistake and avoid the accidents. And my top 5 finishes got me to the championship race, and I just missed out on it in the final restart of that race. I ended up falling back. So, I mean, it's possible to get there without a win. I've learned it that way. 2 years coming, finally got that win. But as long as I can get through Iowa and then survive Talladega, I think we're set up for. I think I'm in a good spot. But I have 2 teammates in Eric Hegel and um, Dougie Higgins that I also have to compete with. So it's going to be tricky trying to get all my cars in the top 5 in points for this final race of the year, and then without one of us eliminating each other. So it's going to be interesting. I'm pretty excited for it.
Well, it is going to be a dream of a next round of 10. I think you folks are going to be pleasantly surprised with, I think, the way things are going to work. Will, always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm glad to be able to get you in here for a win. Man, just big props to you. And you made Las Vegas everything I said it was going to be. Give your shout outs, my man.
Oh, well, first off to you and Signature Esports. I mean, like I'm in love with your guys' broadcast. It's so professional, and I love the way it's executed. I loved last year's broadcast, the people we had. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I love it. About 3 weeks ago, I had a presentation, long story short, my family now watches all the time. So I like the last 3 weeks, I've had family over every Friday night. They're in the other room watching it in the living room. And I mean, it's becoming a hit. You really make it enjoyable for them, and I appreciate that because I never thought my family would want to watch this stuff. So you make them feel like they're watching a real race. And secondly, I'd like to thank Winning Bid Diecast Auctions, and of course my team, most Motorsports. Excuse me. My teammates. I mean, I got Doogie and I got Eric this year. I signed, and I couldn't ask for a better first year. It's been amazing. And of course, Caleb Patton, my other teammate, making the playoffs. Of course, he has work issues right now, so that's what's hurting him. But I'm pretty happy right now. It's going to be a good weekend, I think.
Tell you what, it's Memorial Day weekend, and you put memories out there for everybody today with Las Vegas. Well, it's a great race, and I appreciate the kind words. And I'm glad to see that families are coming together around the quote unquote television set, aka the internet screen or YouTube on your television, whatever the case may be, to tune into something that I do. Because most importantly, this isn't about Signature Esports. This is about the race. This is a real race. As much as it may be virtual, you're still sitting behind a wheel. You're still looking out the front windshield, and you still have to make the passes and have the strategy to win something here. And it takes a lot of talent, a lot of skill, and every one of these drivers in here have it, including yourself. You pulled it off today. Las Vegas is it, man. Congratulations on the race win. We're going to see you in the round of 10, and happy Memorial Day to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and you have a good weekend, too. See you guys next week.
Always, the number 17 wins it here and does so in style. 17 is the magic number. Let's talk to my man, the man himself, the lone Toyota inside the top 5, Bill Hales. My man, you finished second. I got to talk to you again.
What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, and I'm trying to figure out why my overlay is not showing your name. What is going on with that? We're talking to Bill, and I don't know why Bill Hales is. I promise we're talking to Bill. Bill, walk me through this race. You had a couple of contact things that happened there, but I think that helped you. I think it helped you save enough fuel and helps you be able to rebound. You ran out of fuel out of 3 and 4. I heard it. I heard the clutch. And walk me through this one, brother.
Yeah, the segment one I just rode. I wasn't going to be the fastest truck, so there was no need getting up in the front of the race. And then when we got to the segment break and restarted, I just rolled the corners, let a few people get by, and then after about 15, 20 laps, I was able to drive right back through the pack and get all the way up to second. And then the incident with the 42, he was just riding my door. I had run him down from about 3 seconds back, and I was getting a little frustrated. He kept riding my door, so I was going to stay as high as I could going into three, then dive. But I assumed he thought I was going to go in a little bit sooner because he got into my side and got into the wall. And then with Hegdahl, we was just coming to the trioval. I don't know if I slid up a little bit, but I didn't go below the white line, and just a racing thing though. But it's a good race. I didn't have the fastest truck, but it worked out.
I tell you what, exactly right. You and the 42 were actually simultaneously getting ready to turn. He was just that fraction of a second faster on that turn in. As far as the 4 goes, I mean, he was able to rebound to 5th, so congrats to him. But yeah, you kind of just came up the track a little bit. It happens. These things happen. But to be able to, we talk about racing strategy, we talk about pace strategy, we talk about the way that folks are able to get out there and kind of work the drive the way they do. Here in this one, you found your pace the way that I described it, and that is, there it is. All of a sudden, it just magically shows up. But you found your pace over the course of the long run, which is what I see out of you week by week. Is that more important, considering that these are, I would say, of the 20 races that we've done, I've seen fuel strategy come into play about half and half. Is that probably the most important aspect of what you're trying to do here?
It was the last segment. When I pitted, I was just, I knew I had to clutch it a few times for about the first 10 laps, and I could make it to the end. I still just barely made it. I started sputtering coming off turn 4. But it took a little bit to get the pace, where to get out of the gas and let it roll the corner so I could save my tires. And it was crazy. It's like night or day. You do that for, like I said, 15 or 20 laps, and then literally it's like everybody else in front of you is just stopping in the turns, and you just roll right by them. So again, it was a good points night. It's a really good points night, since I'm not going to be able to make it next Friday night, since me and Melanie will be out of town. But yeah, as soon as we pitted, started thinking about the fuel mileage, and then also just rolling the corners and backing up the corners so I could save my right foot tire.
Right front's the most important in Las Vegas because it allows you to run anywhere on the racetrack. Bill, always a pleasure to talk to you. You're absolutely you're killer, man. Give your shout outs. Happy Memorial Day, and tell the family I said hello, but shout outs first.
Yeah, shout outs to Mark and Haas and Asphalt League. It's amazing. Butt kicker. And you, brother, as usual, man, your streams are the best on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube, and it's just a blast, man. I appreciate everything you do.
It's always a pleasure, Bill. We will definitely see you here very soon. I want to talk. You and I need to talk. I want to get some of, as a photographer, and your wife's a photographer, and what we do for a living. I kind of want to get with you about the podcast that I'm trying to develop for Signature Esports and what we do over here, because we're all media people, and I want to talk about media. So, Bill,
sounds good, buddy.
Always, brother. Keep up the good work, and go have some fun next week.
We'll try, brother.
Bill Hales, he finishes in second, does a phenomenal job at it, and what a rock and roll series. Let's bring up the number 13, who is always good in our hearts and good on the racetrack. You get to hold on to it. You were one spot better than Haas, so you get the title for another week. Fastest of the Beverleys. Finishes in third. Walk me through this one. This one seemed like a tough racetrack this week for the not as far as drivability, but as far as figuring out pace. Everybody seemed to be fast this week.
Yeah, it's definitely a track that you can just let it down to the floor. That last stop though, or last segment, I just kind of ran, I don't know, 85% throttle or so, just to save another extra lap, just to make sure, because I wanted to do just one stop where some guys did two. And I know Will was going to be the car to beat because he was in front of me there, as far as and we were on the same pit sequence, but I didn't know if he was saving enough because he was really pulling away from me, but must have had some nice drafting help, so it worked out for him. But yeah, overall pretty fun track. I mean, hard to pass when tires are wore out, but still had some fun.
Yeah, the bottom line is non-existent after about 10 laps. If you've got somebody to your outside, you pretty much you need to find a way to utilize more and more of the racetrack. I've watched quite a few battles today where that was the case, and I saw that you would get to the bottom line, and if you didn't have them in a couple of turns, you would just kind of let off or find a way to utilize more of the racetrack to get yourself into that position to be able to make that pass. Because Las Vegas is, you roll the dice here, but more importantly, you have to pretty much pull off a slide job here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would basically do what you said. I would, if I didn't make the pass, I would kind of regroup and kind of get another run at it and time it up better. It's just hard to get that drive off if you're underneath them coming out of the turn. They get a better drive off if you're neck and neck. So yeah, I was just trying to make my way through, saving tires. And it's kind of a boring race when sometimes like that, but got the job done, I guess.
Wasn't boring for us. You guys made it interesting. You really did. That's the way it works. Mark, always a pleasure to talk to you. I know that Round of 10 comes up next week, Iowa, Talladega, and then Atlanta. Three of probably the most prominent tracks in all of the truck series that folks really get out there and enjoy, not just watching, but the drivability. Iowa, of course, one of those tracks that you have to throw it into the corner to be able to keep up the speed. But braking is going to be the hardest part, I think, about that racetrack. Where do you find your best speed? Of course, Talladega could be anybody's racetrack, especially if you have teammates. But where do you find your best pace out of the next three races?
I actually really like Iowa. I like the short track, and I like Atlanta. I like tire wear tracks for me personally. So those two tracks, I feel like I might have a chance at. Plus at the goat racing, I just won Atlanta, so I'm cool with it.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's why I didn't mention Atlanta. So great segue. I love it.
Yeah, I'm into it. So either of those two tracks, I'm gonna try my best just to make sure I get that win and have no problem. I mean, I still have a pretty good points lead, so I'm not too concerned. But you never know. Maybe something will happen or I can't make something or whatever. So.
That is always the worry when it comes down to making it to the final five races. Mark, always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. I always appreciate what you guys are doing over here, and the fact that you're in like 9 of my the leagues I broadcast. I mean, I don't broadcast that many leagues, but it is it's always a pleasure to see you guys get out there, race, improve your craft, and of course with the Asphalt Outlaws Racing Series, just constantly seeing more and more of that drivability, especially late in the season. Mark, give you shout outs, and always have a happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Memorial Day as well to you. And thanks for putting on a great show for us, all of our sponsors making this work out for us. MLO Bros, Winnie Bid Diecast, and Butt Kicker. And everybody that served out there, I want to say thanks to and whatnot for that. And enjoy your weekend, I guess.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Mark, I won't see you for a couple of days. This is going to be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with I don't know what to do with my hands.
Maybe just have a nice ice cold beverage.
I'm probably going to be sitting here working. I live in a tourist community where Memorial Day weekend is pretty much the bread and the start of our season. So from Memorial Day to Labor Day, or just after that, where we have a big bike fest, I just get slammed, and it's always a ton of fun. And but that's my daytime. My nighttime is I'm good. I don't know. I'm content creation. That's what I'm going to be doing. We're gonna make it work. Mark, always a pleasure, man. We'll see you in the next one. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll catch you later.
All right. The number 13 comes home in third, and what a great race. Haas Beverly finishes in fourth. Eric Hegdel in fifth. He was able to rebound. Congrats to the 4. Tyler Beverly. I tell you what, Tyler had a good night. He's up 5 spots. He finishes in 6th, and Atlanta has been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everybody out there. Cody, you're amazing too. You're just killer. 2 lap shorts, nailed it. You got it. You got it, brother. Cody's out there race controlling and having a ton of fun. If you want to sponsor Cody, his name is Cody Terlinde, Terlinde. Find him on Facebook or click his name in YouTube and give him some sponsorships. He deserves it. He does a great job here. Will Reinald's going to be your race winner here at Las Vegas. We're going to be off for a couple of days. Happy Memorial Day to everybody, and to all those men and women who have served out there. Thank you very much. Make sure you hug a veteran because Memorial Day is all about remembering those who have served past and present, and make sure that pay your respects the best way that you can, and just be awesome individuals and love your community, love who you are. You're all amazing. We'll see you in the next one, folks.